My wife Anna was the writer. She was the one who could weave entire worlds out of thin air, her words painting colors I could never see. I was just Leo, the graphic designer who put her beautiful words into pretty books. We were a team. Then the cancer took her, and it felt like it took all the words with it. My grief was a silent, heavy thing, a blank page. I'd sit in her office, in the chair that still held the ghost of her perfume, and just stare. Our friends told me to be strong, to move on. What they didn't understand was that my strength was always a quiet support for her brilliant noise. Without her, I had no script. The one thing I couldn't bring myself to touch was her last manuscript. It was sitting on her desk, half finished, a story about a lost knight finding his way home. It felt like a sacred object, a fossil of a dream she'd never finish. The turning point came when our 7-year-old daughter, Lily, asked me to read her a bedtime story. Not from a book, but a new one. Like Mommy used to, she said. My heart froze. I couldn't. I wasn't her. I fumbled through a lame, made-up story about a boring cat, and I saw the disappointment in her eyes. It was a quieter, softer loss, and it shattered me all over again. That night, I went back to Anna's desk. I opened the manuscript, and I read her last words. The knight was lost in a forest of sorrow, with no path forward. She'd written him into a corner she never got to lead him out of. A crazy idea took root. I wasn't a writer, but I was a father, and my daughter needed a story. So I started. It was clumsy. The sentences were short and simple. I didn't try to be Anna, I just continued. I wrote about the knight feeling scared and alone, because I knew that feeling intimately. I wrote about him remembering the reason he started his journey in the first place, a promise he made. I wrote him not as a hero who was never afraid, but as a man who was terrified but kept putting one foot in front of the other because someone was waiting for him. Every night, I'd read a new page to Lily. It was our secret project. She'd give me feedback. The knight needs a friend, Daddy. Maybe a funny squirrel. And I'd add a funny squirrel. We finished the story together. The knight didn't find a treasure or slay a dragon. He found his way out of the forest and back to his daughter. The ending was simple. It was enough. I'm not a writer. I'm still just Leo. But I learned that overcoming the greatest hardship isn't about finding a grand, heroic strength. Sometimes, it's just about picking up the pen that someone else left behind and writing the next sentence for the sake of the person who needs to hear it. My story isn't a masterpiece, but it's ours. And for now, that's the only story that needs to be told.